This is the story of Malala Yousafzai. Malala did not celebrate her 16th birthday the same way many of us would. She celebrated with a stand-up. The brave 16-year-old girl stood up in front of hundreds of people at the United Nations, fighting for the right of free education. The United Nations is a place where all the world leaders gather to talk about very important things or to hear from powerful and intelligent people.
Every child, every country, free school. Our words can change the world.
Now, Malala came from an educated family in northern Pakistan, along the river Swat, a colorful land of peace and clarity, where people go to feel connected with family and friends. Malala's mother was the heart of their home. She believed in Malala and quietly supported her passions. While Malala's brothers kept chickens, Malala kept books. Most importantly, she kept a notebook filled with her own words. But when the Taliban took over the Swat Valley, they didn't like girls going to school, so they made sure they couldn't. The Taliban is a group of people who believe in the oppression of women and didn't want girls to be educated. But Malala's father was the principal of a girls' school, and because of the Taliban's increase in power, her father encouraged Malala to write about the situation and inform the world through her blog. In order for people to be able to read it, she had to disguise herself as Gul Makai, so no one knew it was her.
I was getting ready for school one day and remembered our principal told us not to wear uniforms and to come to school wearing normal clothes instead.
So all the girls, including Malala, who wore pink, dressed in bright colors. But in the morning assembly, the girls were told to not wear bright colors again because the Taliban wouldn't approve. As the Taliban gained more control, they created strict rules about education. Women and girls were to not be educated and were to stay in the home. Malala wrote,
"We have some people who are afraid of ghosts and some people who are afraid of spiders. And in the Swat, we are afraid of humans like us."
The Taliban decided that schools for girls would be closed after winter vacation. Many of Malala's friends were frightened and didn't return. A class of 27 girls was reduced down to just 11, not even half. Come spring, war broke out between the Taliban and the Pakistan Army. Malala and her family were forced to leave the Swat Valley and were very sad.
Leaving home was like we would be apart from our heart, because our home was our heart. I had to leave my books, my bag, and my school.
When Malala's family returned after the war, their home had been destroyed. Malala's books were the only thing that remained, and they were very important. Her father's school was one of the few schools that was able to reopen, and Malala wanted to prove that peaceful words have power over violence.
Education is our basic right.
She spoke to anyone who would listen and no longer hid her name. She was proudly Malala Yousafzai. Because of her bravery, she was awarded Pakistan's first National Youth Award for Peace in 2011. But on October 9th, 2012, a man from the Taliban climbed on Malala's bus and shot her and two of her friends. Luckily, Malala was able to be treated in England at a special hospital for wounded soldiers. Malala had faced threats of death. She was fortunate to recover with no brain injuries, and just 9 months later, she spoke at the United Nations.
Nothing in my life has changed except this. Weakness, fear, and hopelessness has died. Strength, power, and courage are born. I am the same Malala. My ambitions are the same, my hopes are the same, and my dreams are the same.
And today, Malala still influences young girls around the world. She continues to fight for education, and people from all around the world fight with her. They chant, "I am Malala." to show their support and their feeling of unity. Through the support of her family and the public, she is able to fund girls through the Malala Fund to help give them hope for a better life. And now, Malala hopes to be a politician and save her country. In 2013, the European Parliament awarded Malala with the Sakharov Prize of Freedom of Thought because her courage in defending the right of all children to be educated. She is asking every boy and every girl to stand up and speak out for the millions of children who are not able to go to school. She said something very powerful, and it goes like this.
Let us pick up our book and pens. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world.
And she is right. Everyone should have equal rights to education, and it is sad that some children don't get to go to school just because they are girls. Let's fight with Malala. I am Malala.